أنها كانت حققت تدبير وتعطي
لترشيح لعماد ميشيل عون.
المعارضة السورية هي اللي تحدد من يمثلها.
Good afternoon. You're watching the English newscast on Future Television. I'm Linda Tamim, and these are today's headlines. The Lebanese army dismantles 2 explosive devices in the northern city of Tripoli. North Korea launches a long-range rocket violating UN resolutions. And rescue teams race to find survivors of a 6.4 magnitude earthquake in Taiwan as more than 100 people remain trapped under the rubble. The Lebanese army has dismantled 2 explosive devices in the northern city of Tripoli. The move came after soldiers grew suspicious of the devices in the city's Nijmeh Square, later discovering they were prepared as ready-to-use bombs. Soldiers quickly cordoned off the area as military experts worked on dismantling the mechanisms and removing them. The army reportedly swept the area between Nijmeh Square and Kura in search for any other possible explosive devices. The army and other security agencies have been on high alert across many areas of the country for months due to risks of terrorist attacks, especially in places such as Tripoli. Maronite Patriarch Shadada'i says the Lebanese people are entitled to live in a country which respects their rights. During his Sunday sermon, Ra'i urged political and parliamentary blocs that are obstructing the presidential elections to make up their minds as soon as possible because he says the country is on the verge of collapse. The Lebanese people have the right to a state that believes in the general good and that adheres to the Constitution and the National Pact. A presidential election session is scheduled for tomorrow. Turkish aid trucks and ambulances crossed into Syria's Bab es-Salam border gate to provide food supplies and health services to tens of thousands of refugees who fled to Turkey's border with Syria. Video released by the Humanitarian Relief Foundation showed thousands of Syrians waiting on the Syrian side of the border near Turkey's Kilis province, where aid workers are seen to be erecting tents and giving out food. Russian and Syrian government forces intensified an assault on rebel-held areas around the Syrian city of Aleppo, prompting tens of thousands to flee to the Turkish border to seek refuge. Pope Francis has made a public plea for help for Syrian refugees fleeing the war so that their survival and dignity are assured. Francis was addressing a crowd in St. Peter's Square, saying he hoped the necessary aid will be given thanks to the world's generous solidarity, so these refugees' survival and dignity are guaranteed. The Pope also called upon the international community to spare no efforts to revive negotiations to end the war that began in 2011. Tunisia has completed the construction of a barrier along its border with Libya, months after attacks on its capital and a beach resort that killed dozens of tourists. Defense Minister Farhat Hoshani told reporters that the construction of the project marked an important day for Tunisia in its struggle against terrorism. 2 attacks claimed by ISIL last year killed 59 foreign tourists, with Tunisian officials saying the assailants had trained in conflict-ridden Libya, where the group is active. Moving on to the U.S., Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio, first-term senators on the rise in the U.S. presidential race, faced a barrage of attacks in Saturday night's Republican TV debate ahead of the New Hampshire primary. Rubio exceeded expectations to finish 3rd in the Iowa caucuses and appeared to be gaining steam heading into Tuesday's primary. His rise is a threat not only to frontrunners Donald Trump and Cruz, but to several other candidates, including Jeb Bush, who need a strong showing in New Hampshire to stay in the campaign. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie took immediate aim at Rubio, saying that the Florida senator has not been involved in a consequential decision where he needs to be held accountable. Moving on to Asia, more than 100 people remain trapped under the rubble of a 17-story building as rescue teams race to find survivors after a 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck Taiwan. At least 26 people were killed and scores were injured when the quake struck the city of Tainan on Saturday. The Tainan Emergency Response Center said a 10-day-old infant and a small child were among those killed in the disaster. More than 1,200 firefighters scrambled with ladders, cranes, and other equipment to the ruins of the building that collapsed. Over 170 people have been rescued so far. North Korea has launched a long-range rocket violating UN resolutions and doubling down against an international community already determined to punish Pyongyang for a nuclear test last month. State media said the mission to put a satellite into space was a complete success. Pyongyang labeled the launch part of a purely scientific space program and vowed to continue launching satellites in the future. Yet South Korea, Japan, the US, Russia and others condemned the firing of the rocket, saying they viewed it as a disguised ballistic missile test. The UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting in New York later today following a request by South Korea, Japan and the United States. For his part, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon called the launch deeply deplorable and urged North Korea to halt its provocative actions. And coming up next, Cedar Cities is kicking off with Zahle native Mr. Michael Azad and our very own Yumna Naufal. We'll be right back.
It can seem like a bleak place for many. People complain about electricity cuts, poor governance, the now 8-month-old waste management crisis, and much more. However, there are parts of this country that remain untouched, and one of those cities is Zahle. Michael Azad is what we call a Zahlewi. He's here to tell us about what makes up jewels like Zahle. Thank you so much for being part of this Cedar Cities series.
Hello, Yumna, Linda, and to all our viewers.
How are you today?
Fine.
Thank you for being here. Good. Michael, I wanted to ask, we were talking a little bit about this before the bulletin, and I didn't know that Zahle has 24 hours of uncut electricity. That's amazing.
That's an amazing job, actually.
From the EDZ, right?
Of
the
course.
Electricité de Zahle.
And the work of CEO Asad Nakad.
Right. You said he wanted to spread it a little bit all over Lebanon. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that.
Do you believe he's going to?
I don't know if that's going to be able to work out.
I believe in him, actually.
Well, he's from Zahle, right? So tell us a bit about Zahle. What makes Zahle so great?
Everyone knows that Zahle is the governorate of Bekaa, is located in Bekaa. Right. Zahle is known as the bride of Bekaa.
As well.
All the people who go to Zahle want to come back because maybe their beautiful restaurant at Berdowni River. We'll talk also about Ksara and...
Right. I did not know that the Ksara wine is actually originally from Zahle, right?
From Zahle.
We're going to see little pictures of that in a little while.
We are seeing now with the video...
What is this? So what is it that we're looking at right now?
Zahle won the competition of the best decoration in Lebanon 2015.
For the Christmas decorations?
Yes,
look at that.
This is a short movie. I wanted to say thank you to Carlos Haydamous, An Eye in the Sky, because he sent us especially this video to FutureTV.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's an amazing decoration.
It is an amazing video. It won the best decorations of Lebanon. We wish that this would spread to Beirut, especially when we speak of tourism and hoping that more people coming from abroad have more to see than just the waste crisis, the waste management now, the crisis that has been going on for 8 months, as I said in the introduction, waste piled up on the streets. There's a lot more to see. And, it seems that not just, the employees of Zahle, but the youth of Zahle as well is trying to portray this positive image, which it is.
By uploading videos or pictures on social media, they are making a good picture of Lebanon in front of the entire world.
Right. So what you're from Zahle originally. Why do you like it so much?
I'm from Zahle, and maybe because of it's a small city.
It is a small city. Do you know how many people live there?
I don't know actually, but I can say that Zahle is a small city, as I mentioned before. You can find everything: cinemas, restaurants, pools. You can find everything. Personally, I spend all my summer there.
In Zahle. Okay. All right. It's a 3-hour drive from Beirut.
1 hour.
It's only 1 hour?
1 hour.
Okay, only 1 hour. For the past 20 years, we're going to show these in the pictures. Zahle has a tradition that celebrates the end of summer with beautiful parties, a flower...
مهرجان الزهور.
So a مهرجان الزهور would be translated Flowers Festival?
Flowers Festival.
And then it ends with what?
And ends with Miss Fatat Al Karma.
Okay.
We were going to see now some pictures. This is Tracy Rizallah. She won the competition of Miss Fatat Al Karma.
So they do it like they do Miss Sagesse?
As I told you before, as like Miss Lebanon, Miss Sagesse, Miss.
Okay. All right. And so what makes it so special? You know, I keep telling people I feel like it's a different country.
Yes.
I feel like it's a different country, Zahli, right?
Yes. Because you can see from the picture that all the people gather at the boulevard. It's a main street at Zahli. You can see how people are. This is a sample of what the
flower festival is, right?
Yes, and people are very happy when you see.
It's at the end of every summer, or is it
every summer?
Every summer.
The election of Fatat Al Karma and the Flowers Festival.
Okay, all right. Other than that, what else can you tell us? I heard there's no waste crisis there.
No, excuse me?
There is no waste crisis
of course,
there.
Because the municipality of Zahli is taking care of the garbage issues. I know it's a big problem
in Beirut
Lebanon
and in a lot of cities surrounding Beirut.
Yes,
right.
But I believe that Zahli has been really working hard about this issue. We never see garbage in the streets. Zahli has maybe we can say
no problem.
Solution.
No, it has its solution, which should work here in the rest of Lebanon. Have you visited Chateau Ksara?
Of course.
You have?
Of course.
Is it so? I did not know that it was from Zahli. Actually, I've actually visited Kifraya. I haven't visited Ksara yet. So what else originates from Zahli?
Do you want to know?
I want to know what originates from Zahli.
We are going to see a picture of the famous tablit.
I know. We actually had that.
Mas'ad excuse me, Mas'ad.
They moved to Jumayza.
They moved to Jumayza and Dubai.
We went there with our co-anchor Linda Tamim, and we had that. That's very nice. Yes. So what is it? It's basically like a tablier with a tawu on it. And
let's see the picture.
No, the picture showed already.
It's showed already. Okay. So, you can't pass by Zahli. We hear people asking about Tablit Mas'ad, the famous tawu, the famous Saj burger. He has lots of good
I'm thinking we're going to go have a little bit of that after the newscast.
Okay.
Yeah, can we do that?
Of course.
Not in Zahli. We'll go to the Jumayza. But you have 40 seconds left. If you had a message to give people about Zahli specifically, and we're doing Cedar Cities. We're trying to show that there are cities in Lebanon that remain jewels. There's been a lot of criticism about Lebanon recently. What would you tell them?
I want to tell them that they should always, especially the youth, believe in Zahli. The municipality of Zahli is working very hard.
Doing a good job.
Doing a good job, not only about the garbage or electricity issues, but
that's very important.
Of course,
right?
Of course, it is very important. But you feel like the municipality has a target to let the youth stay in Zahli.
By creating jobs and things of the sort.
Creating jobs, festivals. The summer is full of festivals. I want to take you and Linda to Zahli.
All right, we'll definitely be
promise
there.
Me, I promise. In front of the entire
in front of the entire people
and Linda
watching.
Too.
We'll go. All right, thank you for being with us, Michael Azad.
See you next
Linda, back to you.
Thank you. I certainly look forward to having a bit of tawouk at Tabliat Mas'ad. This marks the end of our bulletin for today. Now for a recap of our top stories. The Lebanese army dismantles 2 explosive devices in the northern city of Tripoli. North Korea launches a long-range rocket violating UN resolutions. And rescue teams race to find survivors of a 6.4 magnitude earthquake in Taiwan as more than 100 people remain trapped under the rubble. Those are your headlines for this weekend. Thank you all for watching us today.
لترشيح عماد ميشيل عون.
المعارضة السورية هي اللي تحدد من يمثلها.